So, so this is what happened a few days ago, March, probably like March 15th. Today, yeah, probably like sometime last week. Pentagon identified 6 U.S. airmen killed in refueling tanker crash in Iraq after mid-air collision. So they did a mission. Were uh, six U.S. airmen took the aircrafts to go refuel some of the aircrafts that's doing their missions in Iran, and they had to refuel in Iraq, right? So 6 U.S. airmen uh, died during that mission because something went wrong, and yeah, it wasn't in active combat. It was just something went wrong while they were trying to refuel. So basically, let's read into it a little bit before we get into some of the deeper stuff. The Pentagon has identified 6 U.S. service members who were killed when a KC-135 refueler aircraft crashed in western Iraq during the combat mission in support of Operation Epic Fury. Okay, so that's the Epic Fury is the war in Iran. Um, but they were refueling in Iraq. The incident, which occurred on Thursday, took place in a friendly airspace during an specified incident involving another aircraft. While the other plane landed safely, the KC 137 crashed. Military officials said the incident was not due to hostile or friendly fire and remains under investigation. Airmen were assigned to the 6th Air Fueling Wing at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida, and the 121st Air Refueling Wing at Richtenbacker Air National Guard Base in Columbus, Ohio, according to U.S. government and state officials. Those killed were Maj John Alex Kleiner, 33, Captain Ariana Savino, 31, Tech Sergeant Ashley Pruitt, 34, Captain Seth Kowal, 38, Captain Curtis August, 30, and Tech Sergeant Tyler Simmons, 28. And it goes into like some of their accomplishments and whatnot, and and who they left behind as far as their friends and family goes, and that's the plane that crashed right there. All right, okay, let's get into the video because I think the video is gonna give us a little bit background into the Iran war. Here we go.
The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission, and again was not the result, as CENTCOM has said, was not the result of hostile or friendly fire. I ask that we remember our fallen and those participating in the recovery operations to bring home our lost KC-135 crew.
Following this morning's briefing, Central Command confirming all 6 crew members of a U.S. KC-135 Strato tanker that crashed have died. Let's bring in retired Navy Vice Admiral Robert Harward, who led invasions in Afghanistan and Iraq. Sir, welcome to you and thank you for being here. We obviously mourn the passing of these 6 servicemen. Can you tell us a little bit about this incident?
Well, here's what I will tell you. Our military every day is at hazard. It's a tough profession. It's a lot of operational risk in training and preparation and operations. And apparently this incident, from what I understand, is an accident. There was a mechanical problem or some sort, but it wasn't hostile fire. But it's indicative of the obligation all our servicemen and members take on. They deal in a hostile environment, not just in war, but in daily training and operations. And so I attribute it to this, and my hearts and prayers are with all of them.
As we move into this day that the Secretary of War described will be the highest volume of strikes on Iran that the military has launched so far. President Trump went on with Brian Kilmeade. They taped last night. This was released this morning. This is some of what he said on degrading Iran's weaponry. Listen.
We've knocked out most of their missiles. We've knocked out many of their drones. We knocked out a lot of the manufacturing areas where they manufacture the missiles and now the drones. We're hitting them harder than anybody's been hit since World War II.
How would you, Admiral, describe the current state of this war?
We're going to go after them with everything we have because it's a watershed event, not just because we know they can't have nuclear weapons, not just because they've been threatening and striking us and the GCC, but third, and I think one of these things, this war with radical Islam. When the regime came to power in 1979, they've been exporting that for 45 years now. If you take out the regime, you bring to an end that support. So the ramifications of this are unprecedented, and that goes back to what the president and the Secretary of War, we're going to go after these guys with everything we have for as long as it takes. They are in an existential position, and we're going to make sure they do not come back from this.
And as far as the president's goals, there is obviously a political football being thrown around in Washington on whether or not the president.
All right, did you guys catch that? He said it's been going around for 45 years. Technically, it's been going around for, if we said it's 1979, 47 years, right? And what did Trump say, right? He said, you know, we've been at this for 47 years. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, it's America's war. You know what I mean? Like, and no one else is willing to take it on but Trump. So technically, you know what I mean? Technically, we're kind of using Israel as a scapegoat. You know, and this guy's a former Navy SEAL admiral, right? And I wanted to dig deeper into the actual what happened in 1979 a little bit, because that's when the regime change happened, and the way it happened is the reason why we're probably at the war against them right now, right? The way it